Growing up in Belfast was kind of like, I remember spending a lot of time indoors because you just weren't allowed out because of the trouble in the streets. And I grew up in the Ormeau Road, so there was always something kicking off. So I spent a lot of time indoors watching films and the introduction of the video. I can't remember, it was like early 80s. And like, you know, it was like a real luxury to have a video recorder. And the video shops that we went to get videos from were in people's houses. You know, you'd call around. I remember going to this house in Florenceville Avenue and knocking at the door. He said, "Can I rent the video?" And you go in and the family would be sitting there having their dinner and you'd be looking through all these like pirate videos. And I got out Quadrophenia and The Long Good Friday. That was like my double bill. And I watched Long Good Friday's a fantastic film with a great soundtrack. But I remember my life just changed after I seen Quadrophenia. I got so excited by it. It says, I want to be that guy. I want to be that person. I want to be part of that sort of crowd. And all my energy went into sort of modism. Like I probably still am a mod, you know, I'm all these things combined. I just don't have any uniform anymore. I just wear clothes that I like. Just being part of a crowd, just being part of something that was just really unique and different, and you felt like somewhere where you really belonged. I wasn't thinking that at the time. I was just thinking, this is class. And I loved the music, and then I started going to the clubs in town, like the Royal Avenue, and there was other clubs happening at the time, like the Midland, and then the Abercorn, and that's where I started DJing. And it's only because I had records. I always had records. One of the brilliant things about the 80s was there were all these kind of subcultures and cults, and the combination of every single cult and subculture came together at the Delta and the Plaza. You know, you'd go there and you would have mods, punks, rockers, skinheads, you'd have the gay crowd, the goth crowd, and everybody just mixed it up. The whole place was just this zoo of people, you know. It's the first time I'd ever seen like sort of guys with makeup on or, you know, just extreme looking people. The whole acid house explosion, the catalyst of that being so huge was Ecstasy. It's as simple as that, you know. It was the perfect marriage of this little white pill and this insane music. But it was a very, very life-changing time for a lot of people. I was definitely one of them. I mean, it completely changed my life. It was fantastic. I'd do it all again in a heartbeat if I could. But that's just something if you're very lucky. I remember we all kept on saying, this is our 60s. This is our like 1960s. It really felt like a revolution. It's almost like, it was like everyone that I'd ever known from from people who were like punks, mods, you know, people who, it was like almost as if like the kind of uniforms come off and everybody just got together. Like clothes was not at the top of the list. It was like a pair of dungarees and a pair of kickers and like, you know, ponchos and t-shirts and baseball hats, and you know, it was about the music and the drugs, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think, you know, you hear reports about like, you know, we were coming to the end of the Thatcher years. Britain was generally in complete turmoil. I think acid house it came along at such a perfect time. You know, you'd sort of like to think that Belfast deserved it more than most, but I think the whole of Britain and Ireland was generally quite a dark place coming towards the end of the 80s. It was like the uniforms come off and, you know, you just put on a pair of jeans and you just went to these clubs and you danced for like, you know, 12 hours non-stop and then talked about it until it was Friday again or Saturday, and you just couldn't wait until that Saturday to come around again so you could repeat the whole experience. To me, it's kind of all the same, you know, like whether you're a punk or a mod or a skinhead or a rocker or you know, it's all, you know, it's all tribalism, like, but ultimately everybody's thinking the same thing. It's just the music kind of changes.